Right, so it's February the 16th, and I thought I'd just come up Fen Drayton because it's been in flood conditions for the last couple of weeks. The River Great Ouse, which is at the back of Fen Drayton, which I might have some drone pictures that I'll put up, show you at the back, where when that gets flooded, floods the side channels around Fen Drayton, and then it just fills up with water. But this gives you a bit of perspective, really. So last spring we were fishing this swim, and in fact that's the sign just there, the top of it, where it says private fishing, and that's pretty much all underwater. So yeah, it just gives you a bit of perspective of how much this can flood and how much it goes up and down, and all of the other lakes around here kind of get intermingled into one in a way, so the stock of fish can just move around, and or probably go in the river or come from the river, etc. So that's what's always a bit of a mystery around fishing around here, because you just never know what's in here from one year to the next, I suppose. But yeah, so yeah, it's full up. It's full up. It's pretty much unfishable. There may be a couple of swims along the busway bank that you could fish, but I don't even. Yeah, I doubt that over on the river bank. I doubt if you can even get there, and everything could be underwater. The track, the path, all the swims, that'll be all underwater. So yeah, it just goes to show. But we've had, like all of the UK, we've had so much rain in the last sort of month, and yeah, any bit of rain now is just, when this drains down a bit, it doesn't take a lot to get it flooded, and fishing up here in the last few weeks has been pretty hit and miss, as in whether you can actually get up here to fish because of the flood conditions. So yeah, I just thought I'll show you. Like, there's the path going up there. Yeah, it's probably under about 3 foot of water, I'd suppose. Okay, so here's another perspective. Here's the lake, the big nature reserve at the back of Fen Drayton. It's a massive nature reserve. It's got to be at least a couple of 100 acres, maybe. Yeah, and as you can see, I don't know how deep that is, but the water flows in here, and it goes underneath the busway. And I'm not sure if there's any sort of grating in place or anything like that, but and whether it gets any deeper than what it is now, but and then that flows straight into Fen Drayton there, yeah, across the footpath, which you can't get to at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty deep, that's for sure. And you know, so do they get in and out of there? Who knows? So here's the west bank, and you can see how much it's flooded along here, and that's the path that goes all the way up to the river, and it looks completely impassable to me. That's probably about, I would say, at least 3 or 4 foot deep there, maybe even deeper. Yeah, completely and utterly flooded. Right, so it's Monday, 9th of March. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon. I've got to get the rods out, but we're back up Fen for another spring campaign. I think this time I'd like a nice tench. Last year I know a couple of guys had some tench over £10, I think one being 12 that I know of, and I'm sure there's bigger in here. So I wouldn't mind one of them, and maybe a couple of carp I saw on the drone that looked quite nice as well. So there's definitely some some targets to go for. Yeah, so I'm hopefully going to learn a little bit more from last spring, which went quite well. I think 15 nights I've done up here, and I learned a lot, so hopefully I can improve on that. And the one thing that we've got this time we're going to try is we've got a bait boat, which I've been trying out, which has been really good. I've been using it in the winter for the pike, and I've had pike up to 23 pound out of here, which was really nice. And I'm really impressed with that. So hopefully going to put that to good use, because I feel like I was going out in the boat, in the big boat last year. I think early on, before the week got up, I was kind of spooking the fish. And I mean, having that first fish in April after the rod being in for 48 hours kind of told that in a way that going out in the boat was just spooking them. But yeah, not really expect too much. Going to give the old naturals a go to start with. So we've got red maggot, got white maggot, and we've got some worms. We're only doing a night, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to give this swim a go here, which I don't think I actually tried last spring, this swim. Gives a good view of the lake. It's like a point with the island out in front, and it gives quite a good view of the lake. I think that's why I chose it, just to start, in case I see anything, which I struggled to find anything last spring, but you never know. But it gives you a good view, and I think the plan will be give it in here tonight, and then tomorrow we'll if nothing's really occurred, we'll make a move and do the day in a couple of swims and use the boat to its effect, and try and find some sight marks. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Got to get the rods out, bivvies up. Yeah, so got to sort everything out, get the rods out, and yeah, there we go. Start of the Fen campaign. So yeah, if anything happens, I'll get the camera out again, but I'll probably get the camera out just before dark and just see how kind of atmospheric it is up here. And I haven't done a night up here for quite a while now, so I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to just being up Fen, I think, for tonight. So I've scanned the swim with the boat. Didn't find any fish on the sonar, but I kind of thought that might have been the case. What I've got is out in front, I've got like a road that goes, an old road that used to be here, and that's at about 6-7 foot deep, and then it slopes down left and right of the road to on the right hand side to about 15-16, and then on the left hand side down to about 10-11. So left hand rod's going to go in 10 foot of water, middle rod's going to go on the old road in about 6-7, and the other one's going to go in about 15 foot on the other side. So sort of different variations in depth. Yeah, just see what happens. We're fishing totally natural, or fishing with just natural. So we've got mixed maggot on that one, red maggot on that one, and then a worm on that one, a couple of worms, a couple of dendras, and then we'll just put a few handfuls in on maggots, worms, chopped worms and that in the hopper, and see how we go. But that's the scene. It's probably getting on for about 4:30 now, 4:45, so get the rods out, get set, and it won't be long before it's dark. But yeah, sun's setting like it quite quickly, like it does this time of year. So that's what we're doing. So it's the next day now, Tuesday 10th of March. We just did the night over on that point swim. Didn't have anything, but kind of expected. So we moved round here onto a swim which I think is called Bars. I'm not entirely sure, but it has got quite a few bars out there. It's about 11 o'clock. Just got 2 rods out. We're walking around looking for fish. It is still early March, so it's kind of they are kind of difficult. Not seeing anything showing, but I never really have done up here. People have, but I've never really seen much show. So yeah, got a couple of rods out, different depths. One on a bar, one on the bottom of a bar, both on worm. Yeah, going to give that a go for probably the next sort of 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, the water's still very coloured from the flood water, which I probably put a bit on the start of this kind of Fen spring blog. So yeah, kind of just to show how mental this place can get up when the rivers flood. I mean, the whole of the UK had a lot of rain in February, but yeah, but it's kind of starting to recede now, but the water's still very coloured. Yeah, so yeah, first session over really. Can't really see it happening, but it's good to be down here again, good to be getting back on it, and hopefully we can pull something together a bit quicker this time. But yeah, we'll see. Hope to be back down there next week, at least for a night. So yeah, just gotta keep on really. Right, so we're back up Fen. It's Tuesday 17th of March and it's just coming up to 1 o'clock, and we've been up here since about 7 o'clock this morning, looking. I've been looking around lake for about 3 hours, mainly over on the other side of the bank, the river bank, where I kind of thought they might be, but getting the boat out, didn't see any sort of marks on the sonar, didn't see any signs of fish showing or topping or anything like that. So I checked out about 3-4 swims on the river bank and also the west bank, and yeah, nothing. So I thought, right, well, I'll dip into this swim here, quite a popular swim, I think it's called Clubbers, but it's got a great view of the lake and it's got a view of where I'm expecting to see something turn up. But yeah, but getting the boat out here, I actually did find a couple of like little marks on the sonar of fish, so kind of quite happy. I just decided to go in here in the end. We're down here for the night, and we've got 2 rods here. This is like a double swim, this. So we've got 2 rods here, and then kind of just along the gap a little bit past the trees we've got another 2 rods there. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, we've got 2 rods there, so we're covering quite a lot of water, which is probably a good thing in this spring. Yeah, popular swim, this one. Only ever fished it once myself, but it gives a great aspect though of the lake, which is yeah, which I'm looking for at the moment. So yeah, all 4 rods out on worm. Gonna stick with the naturals for at least for the first month or so, and until like I start to get hammered by something little. But I think at the moment the water degrees, which is about 11 degrees, 11.5 degrees. I think it's still a little bit cold for the smaller fish to be really active and that. So, well, I hope so. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that approach. A little bit of sweet corn, tutti frutti sweet corn sprinkled by it, and a few chopped worm, bit of chopped worm down on the rigs. Yeah, and that's what I'm going with. So fingers crossed something happens this time. But I'm not really counting my chickens. I'm not holding up my chope because this is Fen and it is difficult. And I mean, who knows how many fish are in here, especially the carp. The floods, there could only be 20 carp in here. You just never know. So yeah, but like I said, I think in the last one, going for a nice tench, big tench with that kind of worm corn approach, but also would like another carp, but that'd be nice. But we'll see how it goes. Until later, that's it. Okay, so it's March 18th, morning of that overnighter I did yesterday, and nothing to report. I'm not seeing anything, but it's like I took the boat out. It's a great bit of tech, that boat, and it can show all the features and everything, but not found any fish. Not that maybe the odd one, but this morning, and it's like I feel like I could spend hours looking for the fish on this lake with the boat and just not find them. I think possibly at the moment it's just a little bit too early. They're not moving around, and they're not woken up. They're obviously held up somewhere. They could be in the little pond for all I know, that's connected to the lake. But we've not seen anything. It's and then I kind of know the tech. I'm not fishing. The fish aren't here. So I'm kind of thinking, I know I ain't got a bite, which is kind of a little bit disheartening, I suppose. So, I mean, on a lake, on a lake where there's obviously a lot more stock of fish, at least hopefully you should see something, and I think maybe that's what I need to do. I need to just get it in my head that the boat is there to help you, and maybe if I was to fish at an easier lake or smaller lake, I mean, I'm not surprised I'm not seeing anything, because this lake is obviously, it's probably maybe one of the hardest lakes in the country. I don't know, but it's tough. It is tough knowing that you're not really fishing for anything. But before that, when you're going out in a boat and that, I mean, yeah, I've got an echo, but you kind of just drop in baits in areas. Do I do the same with the boat and just hope they come along? But I really just don't think they're moving, so I don't think they're going to move on me. I think I need to find them at the moment, and I don't think they're eating. If they're not moving, they're not eating. So, yeah, and I mean, this time last year, on our spring campaign on here, I hadn't even started yet. I hadn't even put a rod in the water, so I've done 2 nights, building up a picture, I suppose. I think I know where I'd go next time. It's just, yeah, I mean, yesterday did take it out of me a bit. I was, doing more looking than I was sort of fishing, really. And maybe I should have been on it this morning, been on my toes again this morning, but I thought I'd give this area a good go. And maybe failure is knowledge. I think that's all I can say on that. Failure is knowledge. So, yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen on this session, so I think next time, hopefully in a couple of weeks, I could get down here and do a 2-nighter. Maybe by then they would have woken up a bit more and a bit more on the move, and it might be a bit easier. But yeah, I think that's about it for this session. Right, so we're back up Fen again. It's Sunday 29th of March, and it's coming up to about 7:15. Clocks went forward last night, so we've lost an hour, so but it gets a bit lighter. That's why it's still light at this time. It's been really windy and really cold lately. It's probably about 10 degrees, maybe a bit lower than that. And we're on the end of a southwesterly, southeasterly, something like that. But it's going to switch tomorrow. I think it's going to turn round. The wind's going to turn round, so we'll be on the back of it tomorrow. But yeah, it's been cold lately. Not like on the last session where it was lovely and sunny. Felt like mid-20s out the wind. It was absolutely beautiful, and then the weather's turned, so it's been like this for a little while now, about a week. But got to be in it to win it, I suppose. Yeah, I'm in a swim. I think they call it Boat Graveyard. It's on the riverbank, so it's kind of like next swim along where I done last spring. I done 3 or 4 sessions. It's the next swim along from it to its left. But yeah, there's I mean, there's a few of us on, so yeah, hopefully we're in for a chance. They've got to start waking up soon. They've got to start moving soon. It's like nearly April. You'd hope that we're in for a chance, but with this cold weather, who knows. But the gulls have turned up. They're taking the hatch again. I think that they were here the last time I was here. They've been here for a few weeks now, so things are starting to wake up. But yeah, I suppose we'll give it the night and then see where we're at in the morning. See if we can see any signs of fish. But yeah, we're up here and that's it. So gotta be in it to win it. So we're still holding on to the light. It's about 7:15 now. Yeah, as you can see, the rods are in the water, so it's going to be a bit of a palaver. Have to get the chesties on from the bivvy, so bivvy's there. If rods do go, the chesties on out into the lake, and then out beyond these, wade out a bit and try and get beyond these snags a little bit, these near margin snags. But we've got to get a run first. That's the hardest part. But yeah, hopefully there's no wind noise, because the wind has died down a lot. It's as it does just before it gets dark. So, but yeah, so at the moment out in front, basically you've literally just got bar. You've just got loads of bars, series of bars running from right to left. And I've got one on top of a bar, one in a gully, and one on top of a bar at different lengths, and obviously left, right, and middle. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is this swim. It's just literally bars. I think the right hand rod is probably near enough at the start of the first set of bars, as they run from right to left, which they run a lot. In my other video I've got the drone footage which clearly shows all the bars, a series of bars that are up this side of the lake. So to the right you've got the plateau, but I don't think I can get over there because of this near side snag coming out. I don't think the line angle will go beyond it. I think it would have to go over it, or I'd have to put the rod out a bit deeper. But I don't think where the rod tips are is probably about sort of 4 foot deep, 3-4 foot deep. So that'd be pretty difficult to do. But we'll keep an eye. We'll walk around in there, especially tomorrow if the sun comes out. But yeah, so it'll be dark soon, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's looking nice now. The wind's died off. It's beautiful up Fen, I must admit. It is nice. But you never know. Hopefully we'll get one. So we've got maggot and worm on. Got maggot, a little bit of corn over the top, chopped worm, and some red maggots. So yeah, we'll see what the night brings. hopefully a fish, or at least first light. It would be nice to get off the mark a bit earlier. In fact, it's around this time I started last spring. Actually, I kind of first started coming up here for the spring, and now this is my third session, third night. So yeah, I'm hoping, been trying different spots this time. I'm just hoping to see that first fish, just get that first glimpse, coming up here, keep coming up here, like trying to find them, get on them again. I mean, ultimately we'll probably know where they'll be late April, probably over in that corner over there where the carp will be. Hopefully, well, so. But anyway, that's that. So it's Monday, 30th of April, morning after the night we just did. Nothing in the night, not even a bleep that I know of. I'm pretty sure I didn't even get one single bleep. So yeah, been up since first light, looking for signs, but not seen anything yet. Like Fen will not really give anything away easily anyway. I know that from last year. Very difficult to spot fish showing or moving around. But yeah, I mean, it's cold this morning, but not mega cold. Noticeably, there's no steam coming off the water or mist, so the water temperature still is colder than the air temperature, or at least just as cold as. But yeah, thinking about today, plan, I think I'm going to have two options. I'm thinking about going to my left and fishing the sort of tree line margin and possibly the plateau for the day, and I can still come up back here for the night, because just to my right. Or I completely move, and I think if I was to move, it'll be over in that direction, on the east bank, and yeah, I think I'll be fishing in a swim called like maybe Stones, that's opposite the island, but not sure whether that's a good idea either. I mean, I did scan that, I did fish that water, part of that water, a couple of weeks ago, and there weren't nothing there, but it's not to say that they're going to be there now. I might go and have a chat to a couple of people that are on, see if they've seen anything. But yeah, I mean, I've heard from a couple of people now that this area, and they kind of call it the jungle area, as you can see, because it's there's a few swims here that are, there's probably at least 3 swims that are in this sort of jungle area, which is all trees, and you have to kind of sort of fish in between all the trees and stuff like that. Yeah, apparently this is where they wake up, apparently. And I've heard that from a couple of people. But whether that's true or not, I don't know. I mean, it sounds plausible. It really does. I mean, it's got the, I wouldn't say the shallowest water, but it's kind of like, it's where all the bars are. So you've got shallow, deep, sort of deepish gully, shallow, deepish gully with all the bars, because we know they're all they're just all bars out here. That's all it is, stretching left to right up to opposite the island. But yeah, I mean, who knows, but yeah, just have to see on that one. Well, we'll see if the morning brings anything, or seeing fish or any bites, but if not, it'll be either a mini move for the day or a big move for the rest of the session. We'll see on that one. Yeah, it's kind of still looking bleak out there in a way, but it's waking up. It's getting, the clarity's getting clearer, and slowly starting to wake up. Bird life starting to come back, that's for sure. So yeah, soon, and hopefully sooner than last year anyway. Let's hope. So it's still early, 7:15, and I don't know if you can make it out, but there's a lot of birds taking the hatch already. Just check the weather. It's not going to be warm today. I think it's going to be about 11 or 12 degrees. Might be a bit warmer off the back of this wind, but yeah, it's mad, isn't it, out like even so early? Like, there's a lot of birds out there. I don't know what they are. They're small birds, but they're definitely taking a hatch. And yeah, so the insect life is definitely waking up on the bottom of the lake, and obviously going through the water column and coming up. Now, I'm kind of after a tench to start with, really, so I'm kind of hedging my bets with the maggots and the worms. But you'd think that the fish would respond to this. It's quite it's been like this for a good week or two. The gulls turned up, and now these like little birds and that. I don't know what they are. Let's see if we can. But yeah, you'd think that you'd get some sort of response maybe, but no, nothing's showing. No bleeps. I think you just got to be up here at the right time again. The bird life's definitely coming back now though, so right. So it's Monday, bank holiday Monday, 5th of April, and it's just coming up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm up Fen, got 2 nights, and I'm kind of like the most confident I've been. The weather in the next couple of days is going to be nice and sunny, just the right conditions I feel for Fen. And I don't think they're just sort of starting to wake up. I don't think a lot's been out, 1 or 2. And on Thursday I come up here, and there's a swim along to the right of me, a few hundred yards down the bank, a couple of hundred yards down the bank, called Baisies, and they were out in front of Baisies. They were Carp were. You could see their backs out. I was only taking the dog for a walk, so yeah, obviously that was my first port of call when I got here. But there's someone in there. I said hello. I went in there, said hello, but there was no answer, so they must either be sleeping or maybe round to another swim to their right, where I think Lee might be, Lee Snow, potentially. I don't know. I never walked up that way, but I'll go and catch up with him later. But I was in the car when I was kind of going back to the car park, because there was one other guy. So there's 4 of us on here at the moment, and he was in the gate swim, and it was that Steve Broad guy. I recognised his face, and I was just chatting to him up in the car park, and he's done, looks like he's done since Friday. He looked a bit like kind of as if he'd been on the bank for a few days, but he said he had nothing apart from getting hammered by the tufties, which, yeah, I mean, I've not had that up here yet, but I know a mate who near enough done the week up in Lifebuoy, who once again didn't have anything. That was last week. He was getting hammered by the tufties on bright baits, but if I say fingers crossed that don't happen to me. Yeah, so it's this weekend's been really windy as well, and it's just started to die down. It's been really windy. I've been Storm Dave apparently, like 40-mile-an-hour gusts, 30-mile-an-hour winds. Like, yeah, it's like it would have been pretty hard work up here, I reckon. So fair play to the boys that would have been up here, because I think that would have been a struggle in the wind. But we've not got that, thankfully. It's all dying down now, saying 2 days up until Wednesday, and it's going to be sunny. It's going to be lovely. Yeah, so I'm just sitting in a bivvy here at the moment, which is just like on a mental slope. I've not got anything set up. The rods aren't out yet. I've just done a scan with a bait boat. But yeah, as we've just got here, but just trying to keep out the wind. But I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 3 rods out here after I found a few spots, after looking at the bait boat. I'll have a cup of tea and have a look at what data that's got back, and see where we can put a few spots out here. And then over here we're going to put a rod in here, 4th rod here, and I'm just going to put it not far out, just out in the margin. Yeah, I'm going to have a little marginal trap, I think. Going to give it a go, because it's deep in that margin. It goes down to about 10 foot. It's a nice little slope. It slopes down to about 10 foot, and I'm gonna put it in out there, but it's not far out. A few rod lengths maybe, if that. So I'm going to try that, something a bit different, because I'm sure they get in the margins. Bait wise, hopefully there's not too much wind here. So bait wise, sticking with the naturals, we've got 2 pints of red maggot, we've got 2 fruity sweet corn, we've got worms, dendrobinas, I've got caster that I did myself from some of the old bait last week, and we've got some dead maggot as well. So yeah, got quite a lot of natural bait, and then we've also got the some boilies and pellet if we need it, but I'm going to try and stick with the naturals. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So get set up, and that's yeah, get set up and bring the camera out later on, hopefully for a nice sunset, because it's beautiful out there. Yeah, it's a really nice day today. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. Back up, Fen. Come on, this time. Earlier fish. So it's the morning now, Tuesday 7th of April. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock. Nothing in the night apart from sort of an occurrence at about 3 o'clock in the morning on the middle rod. But I think it was either it was a bird for sure, either it was a tufty picked me up or like a goose hitting a line. More than thinking it was a tufty where they are sitting, well, I have been. So I've put that back out again, but funnily enough, at about, well, when I first got up and got out, I swear I saw a fish roll in the zone. A little bit, I don't know whether it's in my, it's hard to know whether I could get to it or not really. I might have to, if I was going to move or not. But yeah, I swear it was a fish roll. The first thing I saw, I thought, God, that's a fish. That looked like a carp rolling. But funnily enough, even the tufties at that range, they're at that sort of range as well. When they kind of dive, they kind of, in the right light, they look like a fish rolling. So I went from, and after seeing that, I went from being like 98% certain it was a fish down to about, I don't know, 70%. But yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on it. If obviously if I see something else, I'll probably move, and then I'll probably move down to my left, but round on the other bank to kind of fish the island, but from the other side. I think that would be the best bet. I'm kind of in the zone. If you to call it a zone where that fish rolled or whether it was a bird, don't know. I'm in that zone anyway. In a way, probably just off on the edge of it, my side. So yeah, just like I say, keep an eye out, keep looking. I'm not convinced it was a fish, but yeah, wind's going to be southeasterly today, I think, so it's going to kind of be blowing into where I am. Yeah, just checking it now. Yeah, an east southeasterly, so it's going to be blowing really kind of from right to left. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out. I think what I'll do is, if I see anything else, if I definitely see a sign, I'll move. But at the moment, I feel like I'm still in the area. I'm still in the right area, but yeah, hopeful. But see what this weather brings. It's going to be a lovely day. It was cold last night, but today should be really warm. It's coming up to about 3 o'clock now. Nothing to report. Wind's blowing over in that corner over there. Opposite corner, kind of to where I'm fishing. I don't know whether they'd move on it. Probably, maybe this time of year. I don't know, but I have given that area a good go last time. But maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's worth a move. Got a nice elevated position here. Just standing on top of some old dead trees that got cut down out of this swim. Just seeing if I could see anything along this margin here, on the back of the wind, see anything moving along. But, I haven't seen anything as of yet. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's really, really nice. From all the weather we've had as well, it's beautiful. So yeah, we've got to make a decision really soon. Whether to stay. Oh, I had a pike, sorry, yeah, I had a pike. Took the maggot rig fair and square. One of the margin rods. It did actually fall off before I got it in. I actually thought it was a tench. It was quite head shaky. And then I saw it was a pike, and I thought, well, that's not a good sign if they're still feeding. But I don't know. Yeah. Then we have to stay or move. If I make a move, it'll be up that other end. But there is someone kind of up that end. Probably not quite the last swim. So, but there's plenty of room. But yeah. Decisions. Right, so it's Wednesday, 8th of April, second morning of the session. Last night, up until it got dark from about 6, so about an hour and a half, I saw about 6 or 7 fish show. I've never seen so many fish show up here ever. So it was quite unique to see that, and I saw one big one. Proper big one. The first fish I actually saw the splash first, and then I saw it come out, and it looked big. And then from then on till it got dark, there was kind of about 6 or 7, 8 sort of fish rolls showed, and they all were rolling where the island is, sort of drawing a line across the lake. So talking probably about 300 yards out. But I've had a rod out there in the zone in 5 foot of water. That was out there. That went out there yesterday. Stiff hinge, a little bit of corn on it, but nothing. I had a couple of liners on the other rod, which is in the zone as well. But yeah, nothing's gone. And this morning I was sat here talking to Lee, and we saw a couple of fish roll as well, maybe one carp, one tench, and I've repositioned my left hand rod to where they were showing. But the left hand side of the swim is pretty flat, it's no real features. It's between after you get to the drop off at 10 foot, all the way out there up to sort of like 80-90 yards, it's just between 10 and 12 foot with maybe a couple of few humps, little mini bars I suppose, so no real features out there. But yeah, I was kind of hopeful maybe for this morning at first light. It's going to be a scorcher today as well. Well, the hottest day I think probably this year. It's going to be about 23, 24, so it's going to be nice today. And I've got until probably 3 or 4 o'clock today, and then I've got to cut up, and then I've got to be off. But yeah, it was good to see all those fish, and knowing that the zone now where I might concentrate the next couple of weeks at least. So that's kind of good, that's good. And speaking to Lee, very knowledgeable of the place, he's told me a few little bits and bobs as well, which is very nice of him. So yeah, I had a good chat with him, and never know, still time. But I'm going to leave the 2 long rods out. They've been out since yesterday. One more at night, and then one probably in the afternoon. But I'm leaving those. I'm not taking a boat out there. I feel that's my best chance. Just keep that undisturbed out long, and just hope something comes along. But yeah, but at least they're active. Been seeing them, which is a good sign. So if nothing happens, at least I've got something to work on now again for when I next come down here. So yeah, so if the camera comes out again, be for a fish, or if something mental happens, then yeah, but apart from that, it'll be till next session. But fingers crossed, double fingers crossed. Right, so it's Tuesday, 14th of April, back up Fen, got a couple of nights. It's just gone 7 o'clock at night, got up here about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and I knew I wanted to get in this zone, but I didn't know whether to go in the swim to my left, which is called Bars. This swim is called Stones, and it's right opposite the island, and I wanted to go in either or because I get that zone where I saw the fish show. And funnily enough, as I was walking between the swim to my left and here, I thought I heard like a bosh, but I thought, I don't know, I couldn't see through the trees, but it could have been a bird. But then I got in here, and then after about half an hour I heard the same sound, and I saw a fish, carp, not too far out, probably about 100 yards, 90 to 100 yards, So I put a bait on it straight away in the vicinity of it. Now it's in about 10 foot of water. Had a couple of liners on it, but nothing materialised, and that was stiff inch, literally just a single with a few grains of corn. But nothing kind of materialised, so I'm going to leave that one. The rest of the rods are quite out long, all in the zone where we saw the fish last time we were here. Obviously we were fishing on the other bank, the river bank, but going across to this island or that zone. But now I've got full control of that zone, and there's no one up here, so yeah, I'm kind of fishing 3 rods, like left, middle, right of the zones. So it'd be great to see them showing the same place again, because I'll be right on top of them. You know, the rods are in, they're set. Probably looking for more of getting them set for the morning now, but yeah, we'll see. Kind of cool I'm the only one up here in a way. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes people kind of know. I don't think it's been fishing great lately. Still a little bit cold, but they're definitely waking up. They're definitely seeing more signs, and to see one today as soon as I got it was great. So yeah, confidence is pretty high. Let's see what happens. Let's see what let's see what the morning brings. It'll probably be now till first light, till 10 o'clock. That's when I hope to get a bite, but you never know. Right, so it's Wednesday 15th of April, 8:45 in the morning. So we've just done that night. I had quite a few liners in the night, on the left hand rod mainly, and also a couple on the other sort of left hand rod of the two. So over to the sort of left hand side of the swim, pretty much where I saw a fish roll when I first got here. So they were both quite short as well, you know, sort of between sort of 60 and 80 yards out. But yeah, I had a few liners, but nothing's come as of yet, and we're kind of creeping towards that time of where bite time is meant to sort of dissipate. But yeah, I mean, personally, I've had the bites in the afternoon really, but apparently the morning is meant to be the best time according to Lee. But yeah, so I don't know if I said it before, but this swim's called Stones. A little bit precarious. We're kind of perched up high here. Obviously you can see why it's called Stones. Yeah, but this is where the fish were. You know, I feel like I was in the zone, that's for sure. It's just whether they're actually going down and like having a munch or anything. But I mean, I'm just fishing pretty much over very little bait, like literally half a handful with a bright one. Thinking more spring tactics, you know. But yeah, it's hard to know really what to kind of do. Going with what I know really. Yeah, but yeah, so it's going to rain. The winds are southerly. It's going to turn into a southwesterly, and it's going to rain at about between 12 and sort of 5 today, on and off. So yeah, maybe not what I would call optimal conditions for Fen Drayton, but I pretty much only got this opportunity, and then I won't be up here for a week or two. But so I had to take it. But they're definitely active. That's 100%. You know, after like the last few weeks, definitely seeing them, definitely getting the liners, and I feel like the last session on the last night and the last morning, and now I feel like I'm actually in with a chance. I really do. So hopefully that kind of prep of coming up here, in the, you know, and sort of knowing where they might be and finding them a little bit more is going to pay off. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Yeah, yeah. As much as I make these videos for my own sort of use and enjoyment, these vlogs, yeah, there was obviously not been a lot of fish in them. But so if you've been watching it and you've got up until now, well, you know, well done and thank you. But yeah, I mean, the one thing I have done, I suppose, I've been moving around a lot. So if you ever come up Fen Drayton or ever fish it, then at least you kind of know the swims and what's about. I think the only bank I've not actually filmed on is that far bank. So you've got the island and then you've got the bank in the distance behind it. That's about the only bank I haven't filmed fishing. I think pretty much the rest of it I have, and most of the swims as well. So yeah, I have been moving around, but I feel like this is the zone. I really do. I feel like this is where they are and where I've got most of a chance. So we'll see. Until later, that is about it. Right, so we've had a first fish. It's not the intended species, but quite a magnificent specimen all along. 15 pound, just 15 pound two, biggest bream I've ever had, and it's thick set, full of spawning sort of tubercles. But yeah, look at that for a bream, PB bream, PB brem. But yeah, 15 pound two. And they go bigger than that. Yeah, he's full of this like sort of spawning sort of tubercle stuff. But yeah, first fish. Fen, come on the pop up with fake maggot on it. So yeah, there we go. Fished over a load of dead maggot. 15 pound two bream. Right, so it's about 20 past 1 now. I had that bream about an hour ago, so it would have been about 12ish. The wind's changing to a bit of a southwesterly. We just had a spot of rain actually. It looked kind of really good, sort of from sort of 10, 11 o'clock. It come over all cloudy, had a few liners, and then that rod went. Over on the maggots, the fake maggot rig, over a load of dead maggot. That's the rod I moved yesterday when I saw like a tench roll, and it might have even been a bream actually. So that's the one I've moved. So yeah, quite happy with that. Obviously not really targeting them, but I suppose fishing with like maggot naturals, you're going to get the bream. But you know, 15 pound bream. You know, I'm happy with that. It's like a specimen bream, innit? So, yeah, I think I've caught one of the big bream now. Now we're just after one of the big tench. That'd be lovely. So, just to kind of sort of complete it. But yeah, happy with that. A fish, just a fish. So I've changed the other rod now into the same depth. That was at about 10 foot depth. So yeah, I've changed the left hand rod, still fishing with a stiff hinge. I've changed the colour of the pop up to pink, but I put it in 11 foot, just in case like maybe that's a kind of depth that fish are feeding at. That's all I'm thinking of. So yeah, the left hand side of the swim seems to have had the most activity. I had a couple of liners on the left hand rod as well, just before the sort of left middle one went. So yeah, cool, got it back out, and let's see what happens. Let's see how if we get anything else. Right, so it's just gone 5:15. Sounds like it's just started to rain, but the wind's got up since we had that bream, since about sort of 1 o'clock. And yeah, I want to get. I'm happy with 3 of the rods because they've all been reset today, but the right hand middle rod, I wouldn't mind getting that redone. And I think because that's been out since yesterday, I think he'll be happy. I mean, it's on a stiff hinge, it'll be alright, but I think I want to maybe bring it in a bit shorter. I've not seen anything long, so I'm thinking of bringing that one in at between the 70-90 yard range, kind of in line with the other ones, and maybe put that on a natural as well, so 3 on naturals and 1 on sort of a bright pop-up, and see how we go. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, and see if yeah, that can't maybe pick up and make me a fish. Maybe all I can go on is catching that bream on the naturals, maybe just giving it a go on the naturals, maybe getting another rod on it as well. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Right, so it's Thursday 16th of April, about 6:30 in the morning, and we've had another PB bream, only by an ounce, 15.3 this one is, and it's a female bream, but another slab. It's a female bream because it hasn't got those tubercle things. Yeah, it ain't got those tubercle things, so yeah, there we go, look at that. Another big chunk slab of a bream, taken on the worm rig this time, on the new spot that I changed last night, and I think I just had a bleep as well, so it's a bit sharpish, so we might even have another one in a bit. Seems to be a bit of a bream session up Fen, but yeah, look at that, what an amazing creature. Got a black spot this side, so might be a bit recognisable. Yeah, 15.3 PB bream, Fen Drayton, early morning, lovely. Right, it's coming up to about 10:30 now. I hope there's no sort of wind noise. I'm sort of filming this in the bivvy. Last few hours of the session, wind swung round to pretty much a westerly now, so it's right in my face, and quite strong at times, quite gusty. I had a few more liners, but nothing's really materialised. But yeah, like I say, a couple more hours left, and then I'll call it. I'll have to wrap up. Not sure when I'll be back down there. It might be a couple of weeks now because I've got some things on, but yeah, hope to get back down there soon again. But yeah, at least I've caught a couple of fish this time. You know, 2 15-pound plus bream. Quite interesting, but yeah, just goes to show there's quite big, pretty much everything in here. But still on the hunt for the tench. And the carp as well, but yeah, but it's still good to get a little bit of action.